Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Nightmare Lane
Woot
Podcast.
woot.
Okay, so here we are, first episode of season three. I don't know why I held up a two. Season three. Yay!
Who's excited?
I'm excited.
I'm
I am
excited.
definitely excited. Yes. So we have a low key production here, but we do finally have video.
Video. Video.
Yeah, we've played around with it for what we have two episodes with video, but now this is our third episode where we're officially going to be rolling it out. So sometimes you're going to see us dressed up, and sometimes you're going to see us not dressed up because we have busy lives, and
And we're
I'm
so
sorry.
tired. Today was a really rough day at work, so super tired.
Yes, sorry about
But
that.
I'm gonna tilt my screen down. You can see I'm wearing Nightmare Lane podcast merch. Woo!
Yay!
And
I am not.
that's fine.
I am.
You're
I'm
wearing
wearing coffee logo shirt merch,
that's fine. That I still cheer
and
for yours.
and I have my Starbucks bear.
Nice.
Nobody judge me.
I want to
I
say
know I'm falling for the corporate capitalism, but I fell for it because of the strawberry.
I want to say congratulations to our winner who won a sweater while we were at Darkness Con in July. I don't know if I should
Yep.
say her name.
Well,
She should comment,
maybe
and if she wants us to say her name, then
we
I'll
will shout her out.
shout her out because I don't want her to feel
Yes.
cheated. But I also don't want to just like shout out her name, and I
I know,
didn't get
because we
consent
didn't
for
ask.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but we did go to Darkness Con. We had our booth. We met a lot of really phenomenal, great people.
we did.
If you were one of the ones that came up and joined our raffle, thank you for joining our raffle. Thank you
Yeah.
for chatting with us. Thank you for following us. And the young person, individual that won our raffle, we were so excited for you to get that. We were happy that you were happy, and thank you for accommodating us and meeting us at the hotel, with plans and timelines and everything being mixed up. Thank you so much for being so flexible about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm concentrating really hard on my facial expressions because somebody just today told me that I have resting bee face.
Okay.
So
Does
I'm,
that mean that you have pollinating thoughts?
you know what B stands for, but we're child friendly, so I can't say it.
Um, I'm gonna get
Mauled.
smothered in
Yeah,
a second. Here.
see that.
She just had a peanut butter whipping cream licky mat. And for those of you wondering, it was coconut whipping cream.
Nobody was wondering.
But she does want more, so it's a problem. She is a bottomless pit.
Gluttony.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's true. Okay, I'm distracted. Sorry.
are we ready to jump in?
We totally can jump in, but I wanted to iterate a little bit. I'm so sorry. So, this is a low budget film production.
That's fine.
Anyway, I, I
We
also
are what
wanted
we
to
are.
iterate that we are what we are. Yes. So, for season three, it's going to be a little bit different for our listeners. We are taking turns covering cryptids.
I'm so
So the first
excited for
episode,
that. I'm so excited for it.
I honestly am a little nervous. I hope I do a good job, but
You will.
I'm doing my best.
You're going to
I'm
do
gonna do my
great.
best. So there's that. But okay, so Kevin is going first. This is Kevin's episode. And then I'm I'm falling deep down into the dark hole abyss of Reddit. But there are going to be some Reddit themed cryptid stories, and then there's just going to be some Reddit scary stories at the end of our episodes because I'm not being able to find encounters for all of our cryptids that is a good story or makes sense or I feel comfortable including on our podcast. So I just want to forewarn you. Also, every Wednesday that an episode is posted, that Wednesday, I will upload the videos and images of the cryptid that we will be talking about. So you can go to our Instagram to see any videos we comment on or share with each other and so on,
Perfect.
so that you guys can see them and find them.
Yeah,
Okay,
mine
great.
are really just like artist renderings.
Okay.
Yeah.
No spooky images.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
also don't know if you're capable of like overlaying it on our video. I don't know.
That sounds hard.
Yeah. Your video overlay, will you be just holding up a picture?
Yeah. Just hold up a piece of paper, hold up my phone and be like, "Oh, here it is. It's the video
There it is, it's
overlay."
overlaid.
I'm so old and
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to do this and it's hard. My little brain, my
Yes.
two little brain cells rubbing together. Do you smell that smoke?
Yeah. Yeah, I see it coming out your ears.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Are
Okay.
we ready to
All
jump
right.
in?
Let's dive right in.
Okay, so today's episode, we learn about a sad yet vengeful spirit known as the Acheri. Acheri. Say it with me. Acheri.
Archery.
So I've been mispronouncing this for a while because I researched this and wrote this like a couple months ago in preparation for our
Okay.
season 3. And so I've
How
been,
have you been pronouncing it?
I don't want to say it because I don't want to mess everybody
Just
up.
okay.
Okay, I've
Sure.
been pronouncing it phonetically, which is Acheri.
Oh, that's why I didn't know what this was.
Yes. So I've been
Because I've been
mispronouncing
hearing
it.
you say Ackari.
Yeah, and it's called the Acheri.
Got it.
Okay, so the
So
legend hails
that makes
from the
sense.
southern Himalayas. In the Himalayas, we will be near the Kuman area, I think. This is all
Okay.
what my research has told me. Um, there was some sources out there that attributed this legend to the indigenous tribes of America, but I believe that the legend stemmed from the some southern Himalayas primarily, and that when it says that it's indigenous, that is not true, that that's not correct.
Got it.
Mostly because the books that discuss the archery date back as late as 1828, attributing it to the Himalayas, whereas the book that claims the legend originated with the indigenous tribes, that book was published in 1985.
Okay.
And since the Himalayas are in India, I feel like it was coined as being an Indian legend. And when Americans read Indian legend, they just went, oh, indigenous
Native
peoples.
American.
Yeah, Native Americans, not.
Sorry, no, indigenous. You were right. I said it
Okay,
wrong.
I was right. So,
Somebody
indigenous,
should cancel me.
no, nobody should cancel you. It's hard
But yes,
because I'm going back and I'm reading this stuff from 1985 and I'm reading stuff from 1828, and they've got all of these now archaic, outdated like labels,
yeah.
and I'm just like, that's not
Which
right.
one's correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got them all running through my head, chasing after each other. Okay. I'm holding my phone. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it off screen, but that's why I'm looking up. Okay. Um, so my argument is that the book that goes back farther is probably more accurate. And I
Hmm.
explained why I believe that. Okay. So the story goes that a young girl, sometimes in rare cases, a woman, dies tragically. So when they say young girl, they mean a child.
Okay.
It could be from starvation, murder, abuse, or some other horrible death. However, the tragedy causes her to become a restless and angry spirit. Her spirit then flees to the mountains to stay during the day. She resides there and is known to create optical illusions for not for people who are visiting, but people who come across her will see optical illusions, such as parading elephants, um, It is possible that these are the spirits of parading elephants and not just optical illusions, but the research I did said it could go either way.
Okay,
I've seen it both ways, the right way and then yours.
keep going.
Um, this is another argument for this being South Asia and not America because there are not um, elephants in America unless you're at a zoo.
Okay,
At night, though, the spirit descends upon the town or village or community, what have you, in order to bring misfortune upon those that they come across, mostly children, elderly. Their presence can bring sickness and death. They are generally associated with disease, and they are known to target children more than anyone, known to incur incurable diseases on children caught out at dusk or any other person, adult, that they stumble upon. Um, that stumbles upon their shadow at dusk. I was being fancy and I tripped myself up. I hate it when I do that. Though those that know to be careful will wear a red ribbon or string around their neck to fend off the shadow of the Acheri. Some legends say that it is okay to wear red clothing instead of just a red string or a ribbon. And then other legends claim that too much red will incur the wrath of the Acheri, as they detest the color red. So clothing will bring on its rage while a string will still ward it off. And some sources argue that you can wear a string of pearls to ward off the spirit. But again, other sources say that the pearls do nothing to protect against the Acheri. So to be safe, a red string or ribbon is probably best.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah. Isn't that creepy?
no.
Really?
Yeah, so you told us that that a woman or a child will die, and that their spirit
Tragically.
tragically will die, and that their spirit will be in the woods. And if you travel at dusk and you run into them, they show you visions of dancing elephants. And in
Mhm.
order for that to not happen, you wear red string
Oh, was I
or
that
red pearls.
confusing? I'm so sorry. No. If you stumble upon it during daylight, you see things like optical illusions. But
Okay,
at dusk, if you come across it, it will curse you with an incurable disease and you'll get really sick and then die.
okay, okay. So if you're walking around in the daylight and you come across it, I mean, like, I'm envisioning Dumbo
Oh,
and the dancing elephants,
no.
and I'm sure it's like that, but that's what I'm envisioning. And then at dusk, if you come across it, it gives you an incurable, deathly disease.
Okay. So, the Acheri was living at one point as either a little girl
Hmm.
or a woman, and then they
Okay.
die a tragic and horrible death.
It has to be a tragic and horrible death. It has
Yes,
to be painful, tragic, young, unexpected
like a wailing woman.
devastation.
There's something
Yes.
there that triggers this. Then their spirit becomes wrathful and powerful.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of, she's like basically a wrathful banshee.
Yeah, okay, sure. Um so they can grow to be like 30 feet tall sometimes, but they look
That's all.
yeah, but they look skeletal like starvation. Think pestilence of the four horsemen kind of thing. So they can take on the shape of a small child, or they can be like 30 feet tall, stomping through
Okay.
the forests of the Himalayan mountains. Um,
So they're like a wrathful tree beard.
yeah, you've got a wrathful, starving tree beard. That's very angry and very hateful all the time. Okay. Now, if you come across them when they're at home and they're not out wandering, they live up in the mountains. If you're up in the mountains and you come across them, you could be beset upon with optical illusions that confuse you, befuddle you, can cause you to get lost. So, might be Dumbo, but Dumbo, you're now tripping in the forest and you shouldn't be. So, it
Okay.
can, in fact, be problematic. But more
So it's
importantly,
not that you're seeing these images and then wandering back home. You're in a hallucination and you're going to get lost
yes, you could like
and
fall
hurt
off a
and
cliff.
injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Um, but
And then what?
if you're back home and it's dusk and you're out at dusk and that Acheri has decided to go wandering and happens to be in your village, because this creature travels, it doesn't,
So if it's walking through the village at night,
and it sees you, it can cause you to then have pestilence, some kind of sickness or incurable disease. So back in the day, think like tuberculosis, think,
yeah,
anything that
scarlet fever,
scarlet
yeah,
fever, yeah, all of those incurable diseases. Now I guess it would be cancer. Um,
yeah. But then it's like dysentery, it's like you said, tuberculosis, it's scarlet fever, it's yellow fever, it's
yeah,
rabies.
like all of the plagues that we've had through the thousands of years of mankind. Um, but if you wear the red ribbon, it's supposed to ward off the evil.
Do you have to wear the red ribbon around your neck or can you wear it somewhere else?
Wrist or neck is what I read.
Okay.
But I totally wrote a short story on this. And in my short
Uh-huh.
story, it was around the neck.
Okay.
I was
Good to know.
very inspired by the archery.
Well, that's cool.
Yes. Someday I will publish my short story and people will read it.
Yes, someday they will.
But it was good.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually submitted it to, I probably shouldn't say this. I'm going to jinx myself.
Okay, don't share with us then.
No, I'm going to share it with you
Pretend you didn't say
guys.
it.
I
No,
sub-
don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I
Say it.
submitted it to the No Sleep podcast to see if
Ooh.
they'd pick it up,
Yeah.
but it takes them like 6 months to respond. So I'm not going to know for a while if it's a
Yeah.
no, and it'll probably be a
Mm.
no, but
No, and I'm sure they'll pick it up. That sounds exciting.
thank you for your optimism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now does the archery sound scary?
Um,
Still no.
okay. So where do the pearls come in? Like, is that just rich, fancy people not wanting to wear a red string?
I think so, or I would guess so, because like at the end of one of the things I read, it said, or you could wear pearls.
Hmm. Okay.
And I'm like, who can afford a pearls? Not me.
Okay. So basically, if somebody dies, if a woman or a young child dies tragically, they have the ability to turn into an archery,
Yeah,
and then a village has to like protect itself.
correct.
Interesting.
Like a
Okay.
vampire.
Well, I wouldn't actually put it as a vampire. There was Sorrow's Knot is a book that I read a few years ago. I think it came out more than a few years ago. I think it came out in 2018 or 2017, but it kind of reminds me of this where the tribe that she lived in, and all of it was just imagination. It was not based on any indigenous practices or anything like that. But they had, the shaman had to tie specific knots to heal people, to tell stories, to teach children. And then upon death, if the death was a peaceful or normal natural death, you tied a knot for the burial. And then if the death was not natural, you would tie a reverse knot to help ease the spirit. But if you messed up or the knot slipped, it would curse that body to become kind of this spider-like banshee, and it would use knots and strings to steal people from the village.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the book is about this young woman who is learning to be the shaman of her tribe, and her mother is the shaman and is teaching her all of these knots. And then when her mother dies, she messes up,
Oh
and
no.
she has to go on a really long, arduous journey. And she's in the woods battling her mother, who's become this like spider-like banshee, stealing the people of her village. And so it's actually a really good book, and the author quoted that it took her almost a decade to write, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, is
Interesting.
like that, yeah, like a very community-based story, and how the death of a young person or a significant person, and how a tragic or unexpected death can impact that community with fear and long-lasting results, is kind of what it says to me. So it's could be scary, but also I feel like it's a story that is teaching a community what to value.
Nice. I like that. That's a really good perspective. And that
Yeah.
sounds like a really good
That's
book.
just what I hear.
To read it.
Yeah, it is. Sorrow's Not. I really recommend it. And I liked the story. Thank you for sharing this cryptid.
Yeah, I am glad you enjoyed it. I've been really excited about this cryptid for months.
Great. Okay. Well, it's a short episode. It's only about 20 minutes so far. But if Kevin, you want to share a PSA,
All right, you guys. My PSA is that you are marvelous. And I think that that is something for some people, it's really hard to hear that. And it's really hard to grasp that. And it's really hard to believe it. But you need to believe it because there's only one you in this world. Okay? There's only one of you. And you're you. Anyway, that was my PSA.
I like that PSA. That's a good one. My puppy rolled over on her back, so she's demanding pats on her little
Tum tum.
punchy belly. Yeah,
Nice.
tum.
Short but sweet.
Um, Short but sweet. I liked the PSA. I will say, if any of you guys have a um, spooky encounter or a cryptid you want us to cover,
What is happening over
spooky
there?
encounter, you would. My dog's attacking me because I stopped petting her. Sorry, she's attacking me off camera.
The whole camera
She's
was like,
right here.
ooh.
Yeah, 'cause she'll knock it over with her paws, and then she like tries to bite the keyboard,
Oh,
because she wants my undivided attention. And now she has her giant big head on my knee.
gotcha. Okay, you were saying,
Yeah.
sorry, I was so distracted.
Oh, sorry. That's fine. I did get attacked, so it makes sense. I'm not even in the camera anymore. Um, So if you have a short story or a spooky encounter you would like to share or have us read, please email us at nightmarelanepodcast@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on our Instagram at Nightmare Lane Podcast, or leave a comment on our YouTube or Spotify, Apple, um, wherever you're listening to your podcast. Okay, so I have a Reddit story. It is not specific to this cryptid, but it is a spooky Reddit story that I came across earlier. I thought it was really good. So I'm going to read it to you guys.
Okay.
It is not written in English. I was looking
Ooh,
up Reddit stories that were being posted in the Himalayan mountains because I thought it would get me closer to the cryptid. So I had to use Translate.
okay.
I used a translation app. So if it maybe it didn't translate all the way or whatever, I apologize. But this is a cryptid story.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Wait, my older sister has her own room, while my younger brother and I share one. We have a bunk bed, and my younger brother sleeps on the top bunk. I usually sleep around 3 a.m. because I stay up playing games and watching videos. So around that time, I went into the room to sleep. When the lights are off in our room, it is pitch black, which I prefer because it helps me sleep better. As I was about to doze off, I felt my brother climb down the bunk bed. You can easily feel that even when you can't see anything. But he climbed right back up immediately. I found it strange because usually when he climbs down, it's to use the restroom. I figured he just changed his mind, so I brushed it off. A little later, I started hearing a scratching sound, like someone scratching the wall. It annoyed me, so I kicked the bottom of the top bunk. He stopped, but it sounded like he was stifling a laugh. I even said, "Oh, so you're laughing now?" After I said that, he poked his head down, peering over at me. He stayed frozen like that in the dark for less than a minute. I thought he was just trying to scare me, so I just stared right back at him.
That's creepy.
Eventually, my eyes started adjusting to the dark, and I began to see him bit by bit. But right before I could clearly make out his face, he pulled his head back up and lay down again. The only thing I noticed when my eyes adjusted was that he was grinning. It was a wide mouthed smile because his teeth immediately caught my attention. At that moment, I got a bad feeling and started feeling terrified. My brother is easily scared, so it made no sense for him to do something like that at 3 in the morning. I ignored it, covered my eyes with my arm, and forced myself to sleep. Just as I was drifting off, someone called out to me, JC, JC, JC. When I heard that, I couldn't breathe out of pure terror. My brother always calls me Kua, older brother. I'm probably saying that wrong. I didn't answer and pretended to be fast asleep. And after that, it sounded like whoever was up there was scratching themselves the entire night because the bunk bed kept shaking. The scratching, sounded so violent and hard. I kept imagining their skin being torn off from all the scratching, though I didn't know which part of the body it was. Eventually, I fell asleep out of sheer exhaustion and lack of sleep, waking up around 10 a.m. I checked the top bunk and my brother was no longer there. I rushed downstairs immediately. I saw him attending his online class, but he was actually just watching YouTube. I smacked him on the back of the head and said, "You really went all out trying to scare me last night, huh?" He looked confused and told me that he had slept in our older sister's room. It turns out my sister hadn't come home the night before because she stayed over at her boyfriend's place. So then we turned our old bedroom into a storage room, and I now sleep downstairs with my brother. We placed a crucifix on that bedroom door, but there are times when the crucifix ends up tilted. No matter how many times we fix it, even if we secured it with nails, it still ends up crooked. The priest who blessed our house warned us never to let it turn completely upside down. He said if that happens, no room or house will ever be able to stop it from following me for the rest of my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is so creepy. And what a braver soul than I am. I would not be like trying to go back to sleep.
No, I don't. I would have been up and gone. Um, I don't know. That was very brave of him and probably what helped him get through the situation by ignoring it and not falling for any of the attempts to get his attention, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh my gosh.
But I found that one terrifying, so I couldn't wait to share it with you.
That one is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's my Reddit
that was a
story.
good one. Nice find.
I know I kind of wish I'd found that when we were doing Poltergeist,
I know
but
that's what I was
whatever.
thinking is like it's a perfect poltergeist one.
Yeah, because of the crucifix and everything. But
Mm.
I found it now, and that's great. I did have to use Google Translate, so
So,
hopefully,
I mean, it sounded pretty good.
yeah. I mean, there was a couple of sentences that were a little weird, and I just did my best. So,
You did really good. That was a good one.
thank you.
My goodness.
All right. Well, that's all I have for us. Sorry, I'm holding my dog's head. I am gonna have to get used to the whole being recorded thing because I was always up to such antics
Yeah.
every time we would do episodes,
Yeah, it's going to be
and
a
now I
steep
can't.
learning curve for you.
Yes, she's being so weird right now. Do you have something weird on your
We
tongue,
had
babe?
so many cool stories from people while we were at Darkness Con. We should have been brave
We
enough to
did.
ask if we could put it on the podcast.
Girl, I did.
Oh,
I
you
gave
did?
like 4 people our email and asked them to email us so that we could put it on the podcast.
No, I meant like they told us there were people who told us their story verbally, and I should have just been like, "Can I say that on? Can I tell that story on the
Well, what
podcast?"
I would do is I gave them our email and said, if you're okay with us putting that on our podcast, would you please email us and let us know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But
Because
there
they
was
kind of
some
wanted
really
it
good
in writing.
ones, especially for
Yeah, there
cryptids.
was some,
We met a couple people who saw some really crazy stuff.
yes, who had their own cryptid experiences. I did kind of hope that that guy would email us because those were really good stories.
Those were really good stories. But
But, okay, well, that's all we have. Um, we will see you in 2 weeks with our next cryptid episode. Thank you again for listening and following. Um, and in the meantime, stay spooky.
ooh.